Welcome back to Turtle Tina. We have already learned how to make 3D objects in Tina using the extrude and height commands. Both these commands create a thickness for a two-dimensional object. In this video, we will learn a completely different way to create 3D objects using the Rosol or rotational solid command. A rotational solid is created by rotating a trace about an axis. What do we mean by trace? A trace is simply a line, curve, or set of lines on the XY plane. The Rosol command will repeat this line around the Y-axis to form a solid. Let's create a 3D nail with the color of steel. We start by creating a trace of the nail. So we'll type tina.left 45, tina.go 5, tina.left 45, tina.go 30, tina.right 45, tina.go 10, and then we'll run. The trace is made up of 3 lines. The bottom line will become the point of the nail, and the top will be the head. Can you visualize the nail? Now that we have the trace, let's add the Rosol command to turn the trace into a rotational solid. So we type tina.rosol and run. It really does look like a nail. Notice that the trace is rotated about the Y-axis. We do not need to draw a trace for the very top of the nail head. The program automatically fills in the solid to the end of the third trace, like filling a glass of water. Let's take a look at each trace. What 3D shape did it become? The first line, drawn at an angle from the origin, is now a cone. The second line, parallel to the Y-axis, turned into a cylinder. The third line is a truncated cone, turned upside down. A truncated cone is simply a cone with its top cut off. When we zoom in, we can see each repetition of the trace, just like our repeat loops that we used to rotate our previous designs. Here are some guidelines for using Rosol in Tina. The trace must be drawn to the right of the Y-axis, using only positive values. In other words, it must be drawn in the first quadrant. We will test this idea in a moment. It is not necessary to specify a line thickness. Tina will use the default of 1. The Rosol command automatically hides Tina. Rotational solids can be exported and printed on a 3D printer. Be careful though, solids use a lot of material. In the next video, you will learn how to make shells, which can save time and material when printing. It is a good idea to run your trace before adding the Rosol command. If your trace ventures into negative territory, you might get some strange results. Let's change one number in our program and see what happens. So we'll change the second turn to 60 degrees. And we'll comment out the Rosol command to check the trace, and run. Notice how Tina crosses the Y-axis. Let's put the Rosol command back in and run the program again. We made an object, but it does not look like our trace. So don't forget to keep it positive, or you may get some strange results. Now that you know the Rosol command, try writing your own traces and turning them into rotational solids. We use straight lines to create our nail, but you can also use arcs in your trace, or a combination of arcs and straight lines. The possibilities are limitless, so get creative with your designs and have fun.